627 Duval, celebrating over 2 decades in Key West. Incredible ink by amazing artists awaits you at Paradise Tattoo. Plus, body piercing with the largest selection of body jewelry around. Paradise Tattoo is your choice for necklaces, earrings, clothing, t-shirts, accessories, and more. Your island experience is not complete without a visit to Paradise Tattoo. Paradise Tattoo, 292-9110. Open 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. 627 Duval. Paradise Tattoo, simply the best place to get stuff.
Since 1967, Two Friends Patio has been famous for seafood, Angus steaks, and now broiled oysters. Dine or enjoy live music and true Key West style in our covered patio or air-conditioned bar. With early bird specials from 3 to 6, happy hour from 4 to 7, and karaoke Thursday through Saturday starting at 8:30. No wonder Two Friends was a finalist for Best Restaurant and Best Mojito in the 2014 Key West People's Choice Awards. So meet your friends or make your friends at Two Friends Patio, a Key West icon since 1967, 512 Front Street.
Key West Jeep Adventures, 3424 North Roosevelt Boulevard, Key West, 305-293-3555. Run the keys in style, doors on or off, up or down. The ultimate in fun until Jeep. Key West Jeep Adventures, swimsuits not included, but everything else is from beach umbrellas to paddle boards and more, like an all-inclusive vacay on wheels. Hourly, daily, weekly rentals, and locals. Need something to roll up to the mainland? Talk to Key West Jeep Adventures about their options for you. Key West Jeep Adventures, 3424 North Roosevelt Boulevard, 293-3555.
Now, let's get back to the Boats Direct USA.com broadcast booth as the 2015 World Championship Offshore Powerboat Races continue here on Sports Radio 1600 WKWF.
Welcome back to the 35th Annual Key West World Championship Race. I am Nancy D'Amato, down here with Stan Lane and Tommy Sanders, and we are getting ready for the fourth and final race of the day. We've had some great racing throughout. Last race, we lost 4 boats out of 7, so it's time. Let's get on it. Stan, let's talk about this last race.
Well, let's get ready for some good action now. 8 boats. We have 1 scratch. That is the HP Mafia boat. So 8 boats are out there in the milling circle right now, and they are anxiously awaiting the start of this final race of the day. There you see WHM Motorsports, who was, in fact, running down our winner in round number 1, Tommy. That was a great finish, but Amsoil pulled it out in round number 1. But this boat, WHM, I mean, if maybe 1/2 more lap. I talked to Billy earlier. He said we were going to take them.
We were going to take them. Yeah, there's no letting off on the part of the leading team, the Amsoil team. They just went a little bit wider around that turn there, and WHM obviously able to gain some traction on them right there.
Well, these boats will be doing the same thing that the last class did. They'll be running the same amount of laps, the same amount of mileage. That's 9 3/4 laps, 43 miles for the super boats. Let's run down the lineups for you. Number 4, Cleveland Construction, 38-foot skater. Ed Smith and Keith Holmes out of Michigan. 05 is Broadco, Chuck Broadus and Grant Brugman. Number 5, WHM Motorsports, Billy Moff and Jay Muller. Number 11, all the way from Australia, Maritimo, Gary Ballou and Ross Willerton. Number 13, Team Steel, Bob Noble and Mark Kowalski. 21, the other Speed Racer Performance Boat Center, Lance Sutton and Myrick Coyle from Missouri. Number 33, Sailor Jerry Auto Nation, Danilo Zampoloni all the way from Italy. He has a home here in Fort Lauderdale as well. And Randy Swears aboard. And finally, our winner in round number 1, number 77, Team Amsoil, all the way from Washington State and California respectively, Paul Whittier and Bob Teague. Now, guys, one more time, one more sprint. You got to let it all hang out. Most of these boats out there have either had their engines refreshed, the top ends rebuilt, at the very minimal oil changed, and all the fittings, everything has been checked. They are good to go. And you see them out there, the quiet before the storm, Tommy, if you will. But these guys are ready to do battle. The Maritimo boat, just as we were talking about in round number 1, they were hoping for rougher water. That boat is a little bit heavier, but they've done a lot of work on that boat. That boat had never even hit the water before it came here to Key West. So they got a little bit of ironing out to do. But I was talking to Gary Ballou, and he said that they look to be running much stronger today.
Well, another boat that had just barely hit the water when they got here to Key West. Yeah, it had some of the some of the DNA from the original boat, but the Broadco boat, which took such a terrible spill there at Cocoa Beach, first event of the year. Mostly rebuilt, coming back up here. A little bit of testing before they got here, but this is the first event they've run ever since then. And you know, I think they have to be happy with their performance. Actually finished third place, but due to a penalty, now in fourth place because they took out that pylon near the end of the race yesterday. So Broadco definitely looking good. A lot of eyes on that team. They are still world champions right now, defending world champions.
Nancy D., while we have a moment, why don't you give us the official results from round number 1 in this class, Super Boat class, and maybe not.
Or I could do it.
It's really
There, she's
it's
got
okay.
it. I don't know whether you're looking for your list or your glasses.
My glasses, you know, it's a tough thing. Yes, here we go. Are we ready? Shoo, Stan, don't do
Hurry
that
up, we
to
got
me.
smoke. Hurry up, we got
All right,
smoke.
we got smoke. We got Amsoil, number 1. WHM Motorsports came in second with Broadco, number 3. Steel, Performance Boat Center in 5th. Maritimo, Sailor, Jerry Auto Nation, and Cleveland Construction.
All right, we have orange smoke, 3 minutes or less, and we will be going racing in the Super Boat class. Looking forward to this. This is going to be some great action. This is our premier class in Superboat International, put together by John Carbonell a couple of years ago. These are all spec racing motors of the same horsepower, about 750. They do not have to be made or built by the same engine builder, but they have to meet the spec 9.1 compression ratio, 510 cubic inch maximum. And speaking of maximum, it's about time for some maximum entertainment and maximum horsepower. The boats are up on plane now, forming a straight line behind Pace boat number 1. You see the big rooster tails. They're going to line up evenly. They are 100 feet back behind the pace boat. Yellow flag flying right now. Yellow flag, watching for the green. Oh, look at them lined up, Tommy. They're perfectly lined up. This is a great start. Green flag, let's go. Here we go. We are going racing Superboat style. It's Sailor Jerry's Auto Nation off to an early lead. Look at him screaming out there, but right beside him is Broadco. Check it out. There's your leader, 33, headed out to turn number 1. The rest of the pack, they're all bunched up side by side, Tommy.
What a fantastic start for Sailor Jerry Auto Nation. Had a rough run of it yesterday. Only completed 7 laps, so one of 2 teams that did not complete the full 9 3/4 laps. A different story for them today, but the pack gaining on them.
Oh my, look at that. 3 boats side by side. Can't tell you who they are. They're so close. They're in the rooster tail, in the wash of Sailor Jerry as they battle head to head. As they head up to turn number 1, they're going to have to find their lane and maintain that lane as they get to turn number 1, or we could have catastrophic results. They are so tightly bunched now as they head into turn number 1. Let's check them out as they go through. It's very, very glary out there. Oh, that's a helicopter shot right there. And they're getting through. Looks like they're getting through pretty smooth, Tom, as they make their way. Another helicopter shot. That gives you an idea. They look a lot closer from the other vantage point, but you can see they're giving each other plenty of berth. That's WHM right there in mid-pack. As they head down to turn number 2, you see him raising the trim, that bow getting a little bit light there as he tries to get every mile per hour as he possibly can to run down Sailor Jerry Auto Nation.
Sailor Jerry Auto Nation, of course, they got 133 points yesterday for that 7-lap performance, 7th place, and boy, they can turn things around. Their fortunes could take a step up here today, day 2 of 3 days of racing at Key West.
Look how tightly bunched they are as they come around turn number 2. We'll let you know how it plays out when they get a little closer. Right now, they are backlit in our camera. The sun getting down a little bit lower in the horizon now, but it probably will be Sailor Jerry Auto Nation in that MTI. Let's check it out. It is indeed Sailor Jerry, number 33, as they come streaking past us. Danilo Zampoloni, Randy Swears, WHM in second place, number 5. Third place, Broadco just behind. It's a dead heat for 4th. Cleveland Construction, Amsoil, and Steel just off their transom. Performance Boat Center bringing up the rear 21, and then Maritimo just behind them. Oh my, what a battle, Tommy, we have going.
Absolutely, and what a turnaround from yesterday. The Amsoil team so dominant yesterday, and now running back in the middle of the pack, or even towards nearer the back of the pack right now. Cleveland Construction, which had a terrible race yesterday, a couple of laps, and they were out, they're back in it today.
You've got an MTI in the lead. It's 41 feet in length. You have a 40-foot skater just behind. Great shot right there you see. In the wash is WHM. He's going to try to get over there in the blue water, as you see him doing. Excellent shot right there. But look at the lead. About a 4-second lead right now for number 33, Sailor Jerry Auto Nation. They're doing a great job maneuvering that MTI through that turn. And there's our winner from round number 1, Amsoil. He's gaining a little bit of ground on Steel now and Cleveland Construction.
WHM in second place, where they spent, that's pretty much where they got their mail yesterday. They spent the whole race in second place.
I was talking to Mark Kowalski, Team Steel, the boat on the left side of your screen. He told me they've been fighting gremlins all year long. He said they would have full power in round one on one lap and then half power the next. They couldn't figure it out, but they worked on that boat feverishly all day yesterday. They were hoping to have everything sorted out today for round number 2. Bob Teague freshened up his top end on his engines as well. Here is our leader going through turn number 1, making his way down to it's a short leg from 1 to 2. And then it's a very, very tight 90-degree turn. And then as soon as you make that turn in turn 2, you go across probably the most disturbed area on the course where that drainage ditch is. Here's our leader from the helicopter cam. There you see a good shot of it. Sailor Jerry Auto Nation dancing back and forth from sponson to sponson, trimmed real high. And here he comes into turn number 2, the copter right there with him. Look at him carve around. Do not want to spin it.
If anything, they've increased their lead a tiny bit, infinitesimally over WHM.
Look how tightly bunched the rest of the boats are, though. This is a great class. That's why this class is so popular with all of our fans all over the world. Tight racing, and these motors a lot more consistent, a lot more livable than those unlimited motors that tend to break a lot more.
A little more like a thoroughbred. Those are a little bit skittish, and these guys, of course, the same motor configuration.
WHM trying to run them down as they come through one more time. And Broadco in 3rd place, a solid 3rd, but just behind in 4th place is Amsoil. 5th place, Steele, he's in the hunt too. And 6th place, Kidman Construction. And Maritimo will be bringing up the rear in 7th place. Here they come. No, that's Performance Boat Center. They're in 7th. And in 8th place will be Maritimo. Have not seen them yet, looking off to the left, but our cameras are looking to the right into the harbor turn. These boats run about 135 miles per hour, and here comes Maritimo as we speak.
Steel boat making a pass at
wow, look
turn
at that
number
turn.
3 there.
Look at those catamarans carve that turn. Boats are evenly spaced. Now they'll have to accelerate as hard as they possibly can, raising the drives, getting the tabs back up, getting up to full song as they head back out to turn number 1. This is the longest straightaway in this race course. This is where they reach maximum velocity and they can maintain it for a much longer period. So the boats that have the larger wheels are pushing more water. They have the advantage on the top end, but they sacrifice a little bit by having that in the acceleration off the turns. As Amsoil looks like they're running down Steele on the backstretch. Look at this, Amsoil up side by side with Steele. Great battles ahead to turn number 1. Amsoil is on the inside.
Boy, Steele, those two boats have been battling out for the last half lap right there. It's been a great race for right there, trying to make it into the top 3.
Bob Teague, Paul Whittier trying to get past Team Steel, Bob Noble Jr. and Mark Kowalski. Excellent, excellent competition right here, right so far in round number 2 here on a Friday in Key West, Florida. The World Championships on the line, 3 rounds of racing. Our 3rd and final round, as we've told you before, double the points, double the miles, double the fun for all of us.
Absolutely, and maybe the shocker of the day, this domination by Sailor Jerry Auto Nation. Wrapping up 3 laps right here with a good commanding lead. Well, formerly commanding lead. Looks like WHM might be gaining on them slightly.
Yeah, that's kind of unusual for them to swing wide. Usually Billy Moff and Jay Miller known for making very, very tight pin cuts, but they went wide that time. Maybe they know something that we don't. But right now, it is Sailor Jerry Auto domination, as you just said.
Absolutely.
They're looking very, very strong as they come by one more time. Number 33. And WHM in 2nd place.
5 seconds off.
5 seconds behind is WHM. Well within striking distance. Look at this battle here. 3 boats. Very, very tightly knitted up. Broadco, Steel, and Amsoil. Now Amsoil got past Steel going out to turn number 1, but Steel got right back past Amsoil between turn 2 and us.
Those two slugging it out for 3rd place right now. It's going to be one of the big points battles of this race, the way it's shaping up.
Wow, so evenly matched. These motors are maxed out. They will not allow them to rev up past 7,000 RPMs. The boats have to weigh 9,500 pounds minimum, and they are weighed when they are craned out. And it just makes for one heck of a great class. Totally awesome racing. Look at Sailor Jerry heading out one more time.
Flawless run there for Randy Swears, Danilo Zampoloni. Team from Florida there, the Twin 750s, and the Potter Performance engines right there. Just no mistakes. That's been part of their game plan.
Oh, a superlative battle on the backstretch. It's Broadco, it's Steele, it's Amsoil, and Cleveland Construction is starting to pick it up a little bit as well. So we're going to see some great racing as the race progresses. Almost halfway through the sprint here on a round number 2. There's Performance Boat Center.
Broadco, Steele, and Amsoil, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We're trying to wrap up 4 laps right here.
Lance Sutton and Myrick Cole aboard number 21 Performance Boat Center. They do not have the Speed Racer on their side as their other Performance Boat Center does. Sailor Jerry Auto Nation is sporting those Potter Performance engines. So right now they are at full song and really pushing that boat around this race course nicely and handily. Whoa, look at him cut that pin. They were having some oil pressure problems around number 1. They actually got permission to go out and run a half a lap this morning just to see if the engine was actually going to fire up and go. And boy, is it ever going.
Totally in control, but no lack of aggression either. This team just playing it perfectly through 4 laps out of the 9 3/4 that we'll run on day number 2 here.
They got a perfect setup. They chose the right wheel. Looks like they may have put a little bit of distance on WHM.
They seem to be getting
Then they go by right now.
more traction every time.
Oh yeah, they've extended it a little bit. But now as these boats burn the fuel off, things could definitely change. Some of the boats will come onto their prop, as they say, and some will go off of it a little bit. Look at this battle here as they head down our ways, almost side by side. It is Steele, it is Broadco, just like last year. Oh my! Steele on the inside as they head down into the inner harbor turn. You remember last year, they bumped, Tommy, they bumped hard
absolutely.
too.
Yeah.
And I dare say they're not beyond doing it this
No,
year.
absolutely.
Should
It
they need
could be a total setup for a replay of that one.
Oh, they got through nice and clean. Steele on the inside.
Steele in 3rd place, then Broadco in 4th. 2nd place is WHM, and still with the lead, Sailor Jerry Auto Nation. Cure for Cancer was the mark on the boat last year. That was the wrap, and this time it's Sailor Jerry Auto Nation, still Randy Swears. Danilo Zampoloni.
Excuse me, Tommy. Broadco lost in the wash. I didn't even see him yet, but they got to be right behind that huge rooster tail as it goes down, as the boat trims up. We should be. There they are back there. They lost a couple of seconds going through that turn. They must have swung wide. You can do so much in racing in the turns.
Amsoil perhaps losing touch with 3 and 4. Steele and Broadco right there as they go down the back stretch on lap number 5.
I want to take this quick moment to thank you all for joining us around the world on the live stream, superboat.com, and on the airwaves as well. It's great to have you along for this very, very fast ride. This is the last race of the day, the Premier Class Superboat. 8 boats are out there dicing it out. HP Mafia, our 9th boat, blew an engine in testing and did not have a spare, so we hate to see that they did not make it, but hopefully we'll see them next year.
I don't want to jinx any of these guys, but how amazing is it that no one has dropped out so far halfway through this race?
Well, that's the beauty of these
did it,
engines. That's why this class is so great. These are very reliable engines. They run them at least a year, and as opposed to those unlimited motors that are so high strung and they tend to break more often. Only thing this class doesn't have, the other class has, is about 25 to 30 miles per hour in speed, but you can't really tell, and to have them out there racing the whole race,
It
to
does
me,
not
just
stand out that way,
means
does
so
it?
much.
Not at all.
Here he comes one more time, number 33, your leader, Sailor Jerry's Auto Nation.
Boy, that lead has been extended, and
Now-
I mean extended. It has doubled up since the last lap. Closer to 10 seconds, right, Nancy?
Now,
11.5 seconds.
I don't know if you guys noticed it, but Sailor Jerry, for the first time, I heard him bouncing off the rev limiters as he burns that fuel seed, so he's starting to hit his rev limiters. Now that may hurt him a little bit. The boat's getting lighter, it's revving up higher, and he's hitting the rev limiters, and that's going to hold him back a little bit, see? So that's going to be very, very interesting as the laps continue.
Possibly open the door for WHM. There's Amsoil. Fighting hard to get back in touch with 3rd and 4th place Steele.
That he is. Side by side with Cleveland
And
Construction
Broadco.
right now, Tommy, as they head into the inner harbor turn. It's a hairpin.
That was 5th and 6th place, 7th place Performance. Boat Center.
Check out your leader, 41 feet of the MTI, and there's your guy who's trying to run him down and spoil his day, 40 feet of Skater. Number 5, WHM. That boat was brand new last year. It's a very, very fast hull, laid up in Douglas, Michigan. And Steele looking very, very good as well. They have a very, very solid third place now, Tommy. Broadco is in 4th. 5th place is Cleveland Construction. 6th place is Amsoil.
More than halfway through this race now, and with the exception of WHM, we're looking at a pretty good inversion of the finishes from yesterday. So that's what makes it exciting.
Already making the turn at turn number 1 is Sailor Jerry's. Boy, they are really just checking out the competition. As the sun gets a little lower in the sky, you see how that racetrack looks to everybody. It's very, very glary. Hard to pick up those pins. That's why they always put large turn boats between the 2 turn pins. There you see the turn boat right there.
Mm-hmm.
And here is our leader. He's making another turn into turn number 2 and headed our way. Not doing any crabbing at all. You want to keep that boat as straight as you can through the air. And you don't want to get that bow too high because it'll actually scrub the speed off. You want to fly it flat, and that's what they are doing aboard Sailor Jerry's Auto Nation with a pretty significant commanding lead right now over WHM. But it just, as you said earlier, Tommy, 1 or 2 hiccups, and they can get past just like that.
Absolutely. Being very aggressive, carving a very good inside line on those turns right there. Not backing off a bit, but you say, Stan, watch them now because of their fuel situation and because of those limiters.
I hear those popping sounds coming from their engines. He's bouncing off the rev limiters. And I don't hear WHM doing that.
WHM holding steady at about 11 seconds behind the last 2 laps.
Steele looking very good now. They're starting to pick up the pace. Lightening up that load of fuel.
Steele, the beneficiaries of a penalty yesterday to the Broadco team. They took over 3rd from Broadco, and now they've taken over 3rd from Broadco again today.
You have to wonder what the difference in the Amsoil boat is. You know, he freshened up the top end, but if they chose the right prop or the wrong prop, they do not have the speed they had in round number 1, that's for sure. Speaking of speed, all the speeds, all the lap times can be found on superboat.com. They'll be downloaded later on this afternoon if you're into that kind of thing, to see all the facts and figures and just see how fast these boats make it around this 4.5-mile course. Check it out on superboat.com.
Typically, we're talking about a 130 to 135 average speed for these teams around this 4.5-mile course.
Making a nice. Oh, Steele is out.
Oh,
Steele is
down.
out. That's Mark Kowalski. He's checking. He's going to pull the hatch up, see if he can fix something. Something may have come loose back there. Hopefully, they can get things sorted out and get back into it. You can see how feverishly he's working trying to get that hatch up. Oh my, they were doing so good. They were closing down the distance. They've been plagued, Tommy, all year long, as you know. It's a shame. It's such a great team, and Mark's getting back in now, so maybe he corrected whatever the problem was.
Well, they were solid in 3rd place when that incident happened right there. And of course, they had gained 3rd place points from yesterday, 202 of them out of a possible 1,000 for 3 days of racing. So that is a huge hit to the points column for Steele.
Whatever he did, it did not work as he went back to the hatch and raised it one more time. So we'll see how that plays out. Hopefully they get the boat back into the race. Our leader headed our way one more time. Looking so good, so smooth as they come by.
2 3/4 lap left for Sailor Jerry. Auto Nation, our leader still. With WHM picking up about 3 seconds on him that last lap right there. So starting to make a little headway, clawing their way back, trying to get into the conversation for 1st place in this 2nd day of racing.
And that's exactly what they did in round number 1. They clawed their way back in, and as they went by the checkered flag, they were really barreling down on Team Amsoil in round number 1. Will they be able to do that to Sailor Jerry Auto Nation? We'll have to wait and see, but anything can happen.
Broadco team now solidly in 3rd place because of the Steele mishap out there. Steele mechanical difficulty, I should say. Amsoil team from 1st down to back in the pack in 6th place here.
Just to let you know, in the last race, we talked about 03, how they headed back to the wet pit so fast. They did, in fact, hit an object in the water. They were taking on water. That's why they had to get back so quickly.
You called it right, Stan.
There you see just part of our SBI support truck. The flag's flying. Our scores are on there. We have the Coast Guard up top as well. All the officials, the SBI, Dina Carbonella and the crew, all along the wall there. They're scoring these boats. Steele is out of it, definitely. Both J.R. Noble and Mark Kowalski outside the boat. Their race day is done. A lot of support boats by them. They have their bilge pumps on, so that tells me that they're taking on water as well. You see the bilge pump pumping that port side out.
Wow.
It's gushing out pretty good, so don't know what the issue is, but we hate to see it. If we need to, we'll get a hook on them and get them towed in as quickly as possible.
Could be a drive or an object hit.
It could be anything, yeah. It looks like they're putting a line on them right now to get them back in there. Wow. They had bad luck last year here. They have bad luck this year as
no
well.
kidding.
However, maybe they'll get that thing fixed and be ready to go for Sunday. Let's hope so.
Anything can happen, as we've seen today. I mean, what's up is down. What was up is down, I should say.
Well, speaking of down, these guys are from down under. They're from all the way from Australia. Good day, mate. Maritimo. They are hoping and praying for rough water on Sunday, and their prayers just may be answered. And it may be a whole different ball game for that boat in Lucas Oil on Sunday. But today, in these smooth, benign water conditions, number 33, Sailor Jerry Auto Nation, is the class of the field so far.
Very much under control, looking rock solid heading into lap number 8.
9 3/4 laps.
Actually, they're heading into lap number 9, I should say.
WHM relentless in his pursuit.
Lost about 3 seconds right there from the previous lap. WHM just not able to keep pace with the Sailor Jerry boat.
Does not have the top end speed, running out of prop. And here comes Broadco solidly in 3rd place. That boat completely rebuilt after that horrendous multiple barrel roll in Cocoa Beach at the beginning of the year.
Construction having a better performance than yesterday and a far inferior performance today for the Amsoil team. Bob Teague and company were doing so well yesterday, made all the right setup decisions, the prop decision especially. Just not working out today.
As we approach our final lap now, time is running out for many of these teams that are out there trying to find any minute mile per hour they can, trim the boat a little higher, don't want to over trim it. It's a fine line as Steele sadly is being towed back in to the inner harbor. Their race day in round number 2 today is done.
Broadco boat in 3rd place. They finished 3rd place yesterday, and the penalty lost him 25 points, dropped him down to 4th place. So
Chuck brought us and Grant Brugman. Grant completely re-rigged that boat from stem to stern. One of the premier riggers in the country. And that boat is really looking good. They got new graphics on it this year. Ilmore powered. Now these boats are closing down on each other. That's Amsoil on the right, closing in on Cleveland Construction as they head into turn number 2. Looks like Amsoil trying to leak over to the left there and get the inside lane, but he may not be up far enough to take it. No, he's not.
No, he's going to back off. He's going to have to be compelled to go around to the right, swing wide just a little bit.
The sun has gone behind the clouds. It's kind of gotten dark here. The breezes have stiffened a little bit, but not so much. 1 to 2 foot chop. Very, very fast track still. These boats are not being upset at all. Especially that big heavy boat, Maritimo. Maritimo is on the verge of being lapped if they're not careful.
Sailor Jerry 2.5 seconds right behind them. That will probably happen before this race is completed.
What's the time frame on WHM, Tommy? You've been keeping good track of it.
Well, 12 seconds, so they gained up to 8. They've been back to 12 and 13 back the last 2 laps, so really no real progress made on that front for the WHM team.
They put a slight dent in the lead, but then they lose it.
Broadco solidly in 3rd place. Definitely be a stalking horse tomorrow.
Pace boat number 1 maneuvering into position now. They'll be displaying the checkered flag, possibly for this boat, number 33, Sailor Jerry AutoNation, which is led from the get-go. He not only had the acceleration, Tommy, at the start when the green flag was displayed, but he's had the top end to hold the other boats off the entire race. That's amazing.
Really remarkable and admirable. A little too early to start writing down points. You know, you don't want to count your chickens before they're hatched, but of course the beneficiary of the way this thing has turned out today got to be WHM. Solid second place both days. They'll have the points advantage going into the final day.
Our helicopter cam right there on the spot. I remember years ago that the helicopters couldn't even keep up with some of our boats. Performance Boat Center going by one more time. Myrick Coyle and Lance Sutton. They've had a solid run today too, but did not have the speed to play with our leader. I'm sure they'll be making a few changes for round number 3. And round number 3 also interesting because it's double the laps and they have to carry so much more fuel, and that's a lot of weight, so things can really change significantly in round number 3. As we take a look at Broadco as they head out to turn number 1 for perhaps the last time in round number 2.
Will be, and of course our leaders will take the checkered flag shortly here. Getting ready for that. A big exciting moment. Day number 2 of racing for the Sailor Jerry AutoNation team, the 41-foot MTI.
As our long-range camera pans back now to pick up. We've got a pass going on back there. It looks like that's WHM right there. I'm not sure who he passed.
Maybe going past the Maritimo team. Is that a possibility? It could be.
Yeah, there's your leader right there, number 33, Sailor Jerry's. WHM is swinging wide to your left. Look at him slide that boat around. And this is his last opportunity to run down Sailor Jerry's. Can he do it? They come right through that area where we've had some waves and some rollers before, but nothing right now is upsetting the boats.
That place has been benign throughout both race days, yesterday and today, or day before yesterday and today. We've not seen any mishaps there, and that's good news.
Checkered flag is out. Maritimo coming by, and here comes, wow, now wait a minute, WHM.
Hold on. Oh, no.
Where is Sailor Jerry?
Oh, Sailor Jerry. Something is gone amiss there, so WHM is going to take top points. What a shocker.
Unbelievable.
In the final 3/4 lap of this race right there. We were not able to pick up on it. Broadco in 3rd place.
Wow, we just said we don't want to jinx. Tommy, you did jinx him.
I did.
I'm going to tell.
I didn't. Hey, don't do it. Don't do it. I beg of you, Stan.
Who would have thought that?
Holy cow. Unbelievable.
Cleveland Construction comes in ahead of Amsoil.
9 full laps of leading for
That's
Sailor Jerry
mind-boggling.
AutoNation, and then in the last 3/4 lap, more like the last quarter lap, they still relinquished that lead.
I just wonder what happened. It had to happen between turn 1 and turn 2.
It had to have. That's where we sort of lose the visual contact with them from here at our position.
Boy, they led almost wire to wire, got past with 1/2 lap left. They got passed up. WHM, see, relentless. They would not give up, held on, and they got by them. Here comes Performance Boat Center.
So Billy Moth and Jay Muller, who were looking great points-wise, even in 2nd place on day number 2 now. They're going to take the definite,
It looks like
very profound lead
It
now.
looks like Maritimo is making another lap, even though the checkered flag stops the race. Did I see them going back out or not? Maybe that was just on the screen. All right, well, we're trying to catch our breath here. That was, we never would have thought that. WHM now, they are your unofficial winner in round number 2 in the Superboat class, 40-foot skater. Billy Moff and Jay Muller aboard, number 5.
Got 225 points yesterday. They'll get the full jolt today, 250 points. There are 1,000 points possible over the 3 days of racing as the points double for the final day on Sunday, and boy, they are going to get the lion's share of it if they continue to keep up this pace.
Yeah, see there's Maritimo still out there running an extra lap.
And what we thought was Maritimo being lapped out there was Sailor Jerry. Amsoil being passed by WHM. Of course, the farthest position from our position out here, which made it hard for us to identify them.
Well, I'm looking forward to going back and talking to all the teams and seeing exactly, what happened. I'll speak with Randy and I'll speak with Billy and all of them, and we'll find out exactly
Bob
what
Noble,
happened.
of course, yeah.
Yeah, talk to Team Steel as well and have all the inside information for you when we talk to you and see you once again on Sunday for our 3rd and final round of the 2015 Key West World Championships. This is our 35th year here. It's presented by Geico. As we watch Maritimo come in and complete his last lap, checkered flag is frantically flying to stop him. Okay, he's coming out, slowing down now. And there you see a good shot, hands on the hips.
Oh, yeah.
Dejection.
Absolute pure dejection right there.
Yeah, they're definitely discussing it. Looks like it's pretty serious conversation going on right there. I'm very, very curious to see what happened. Yeah, they are devastated. Hands, look at that. That is the agony of defeat right there, my friend.
Boy, I tell you what, being in the middle of the pack and then failing at the end is far, far different from leading 9 and change and losing it all in the final mile and a half, perhaps.
But speaking of further agony, Team Steel is going to have to go back to the drawing board and see whatever problem they had and get that problem resolved and get that boat back ready for round number 3 on Sunday. These guys had a very consistent run. They just need maybe a little more prop or something. They just need a little more speed, but they're right there in the
Very
hunt.
very solid, and what a comeback story.
Well, that's going to wrap things up for our broadcast. I want to thank Tommy Sanders and Nancy D'Amato, and I'm Stan Lane, and this is the end of round number 2. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on Sunday for round number 3.
Thank you, Stan, and thank you, Tommy. Boy, what a race.